How's it going, everyone? It is Prashan here, and I have another Marvel Snap Deck highlight. And I have the Nomi, the homie, Gnome, here with us. You want to intro yourself and tell the people about yourself?
What up, y'all? My name is Gnome. I go by Gnome underscore underscore plays on Twitter and Twitch because the one underscore was taken. Lawyer's still looking into that one, but I play Marvel Snap at a decently competitive level. I have a decently high ranking on Infinite, but I still play decks that are fun. I don't usually play top tier decks. We mess around, have fun with chat, listen to cool music, and yeah, it's a good time. I love brewing, and yeah, so that's where you can find me.
Yeah, for sure. Because I met you through one of the underground King of the Hills. I
Yeah, I
think
just
I
like to say,
won.
I'm pretty sure Prashan is like 2-0 against me, plus 10 cubes in our lifetime. Like I have never taken a game off the guy ever, so I don't even know if I should be the one uh,
Oh
giving the
no, for
advice
sure.
today.
Well, you play more than me. I haven't been able to play that much because of school, but yeah, you
Yeah.
definitely give him a follow. I'll put his info down in the description. Definitely check out his streams. Like ever since our match, and I knew who you are. I definitely pop in your streams time to time. So we're gonna go card by card, but this awesome deck I saw you post on Twitter the other day, and then we'll play some games, and then hopefully you can guide me through, and we could get some dubs. So I'm gonna start off with the hood. So why is the hood in this deck?
So the hood is part of a couple packages. There's a mini bounce package. I wouldn't consider this deck a bounce deck. It's more of a mid-range beatdown deck, I would classify it as, but it does have the beast in it. So obviously the hood plus beast is value because getting a 1/6 is the best cost to power ratio like in the entire game, right? Um, I'm gonna talk about like the Loki matchup a bit. The hood is one of the asymmetrical things that this deck is favored into the Loki because you get more demons than them. You get so that's just straight value. And obviously there's the card Annihilus in the deck, which is, you know, the hood goes in Annihilus decks, most of them, because sending a 1/3 over is also just value, and then you get the hood and they don't. So yeah.
Nice. And then next we have Kitty Pride.
Yeah, Kitty in this deck is mostly just an activator for your Angela and your Hope. I wouldn't value it too high in terms of raw power output. She usually gets up to 3, 4, sometimes 5. But at the end of the day, she is really +2 power on Angela and an extra energy from Hope. And that is her main role, that you can just keep doing that. She's also really good into decks that want to send stuff to your side. So goblins and stuff, you can, clog a lane with her, and then she
Hmm.
comes back and you can still play other cards into that lane. She's good into mill decks because if you think you know which lane they're gonna profx, you can play the kitty there, and you can again put cards into the lane like it doesn't get clogged.
Hmm.
Um, and yeah, she's just good value for
Nice.
for
Yeah, she's
the other
definitely
cards in your
the
deck.
engine for your hope
Yeah,
for
she's
sure.
just part of the engine, exactly.
And then next, of course, we have Korg, part
Yeah.
of the
So part of the Darkhawk package.
yeah.
I think uh, every time I post this deck, especially on Twitter, people are like, "Why? There's no tech. Like, wouldn't Shang be good into this deck?" And it's like my whole philosophy with this deck is everyone's got a plan until they get a fistful of rocks. You know, the Mike Tyson quote, everyone's got a plan until they get punched in the face.
Oh yeah.
Like, I use rocks as my tech, and it's more effective against some decks than others. But putting hard tech, such as Shang-Chi, Enchantress, stuff like that, just makes your low-key matchup worse. Putting hard tech into those, it just makes that matchup worse because you have cards that die to those tech cards, right? So you can't exactly counter your own deck, but because you get to put rocks in your opponent's deck earlier than say a Loki player would, you get that advantage asymmetrically, which is very important. So yeah, and obviously it makes your Darkhawk bigger, big stats, go burst. So
Nice. And then next we have Nico.
Nico, yeah, I've been toying around with this slot for a bit. Nico has kind of been the slot that I've flexed around with the most, but I love Nico so much. She is so much versatility, copying demons, destroying the hood for draw, changing location sometimes when you like her suite is so good. And I think it also brings a lot of cube equity to the table because sometimes her spells, only you know what is coming out of them. And I think it brings a lot of snap equity. So you can snap on copying. For example, if you have a Hope down and you're playing into it, you can copy a Red Hulk or a Darkhawk, sorry, on five, and then just like slam power turns 5 and 6. I have, copied an Annihilus into a Daredevil when they saw that I played Nico plus Annihilus on 5, and they're like, "Oh, I don't have priority. I Annie them now." And then they don't have another Annie, but they didn't see that my Nico was copying it because it doesn't show that to Daredevil. Like the snap equity it brings is just, I think, very, very valuable. So
Yeah, for sure. Like there's times where there's like a Death's Domain, and then I have her like change location on final turn, and then I
yeah,
win. Or there's
yeah,
Limbo, and then I change the
yeah.
location
Limbo
final turn, and
scams
we
are
just win
huge.
games.
Love the Limbo scam with her. It always feels so good.
And then next we have Angela.
Yeah, so uh this is kind of part of the mid-range beatdown style of the deck. Angela's one of the best value two drops in the game. You already have small cards such as Hood, Kitty, Korg, Nico, and you have Beast in the deck. She is gonna get big. She is gonna be a legitimate threat that your opponents have to answer. And, Angela into Hope is right, the nuts. You just
Yep.
like I always view like Bounce as a bit of an engine that you're like constantly feeding gas into. Angela into Hope is like an engine you're putting NOS into. Like it just goes crazy, right? So
And then next we have Beast, part of the bounce package.
yeah, Beast, you're not trying to get a ton of value with Beast. Like sometimes you can, but it's just the incremental value. There's oftentimes I will just go Hood into Beast, like just pick up the Hood once or Korg into Beast, like, and then turn 3 is Rock Slide plus Korg. That's already 4 rocks. That's a lot of disruption, and your Darkhawk is going to be massive. You don't want to be too greedy with the Beast because your mid game, you have a lot of mid game, so you can't that you want to be playing, so you can't really like afford a lot of the time to be beasting on 4 on 5, because that's when a lot of your mid-range threats come down. So beast is there for a little bit of flexibility, a little bit of extra utility, but like I said, this is not a bounce deck. This is a beatdown deck, and he's just there to add a little bit of value.
All right. And then next we have Rock Slide. You know,
Yeah,
he,
pretty self-explanatory. Darkhawk
yeah,
go
he
big.
gives them
Darkhawk get
rocks.
big and give him rocks. Yeah.
And then Hope Summers.
Yeah. Just she feels so good in this deck, especially like obviously she's like a mid-range staple. But her playlines make your output range so much more unpredictable because if you hope, like if they see the Red Hulk growing, but you've played into Hope on turn 5, they don't just have to worry about the Red Hulk. They have to worry about Red Hulk plus something. They also have to worry about what if you don't play the Red Hulk. They have to like the options your opponent has to consider and the options for you are so much broader when you get Hope going, and she is very important in terms of just giving you as many options as you can.
And then next we have Sentry here.
So, uh, I think the meta has become a lot more unfavorable for this card specifically. Like everyone's doing Sentry Annihilus. I've been playing Sentry Annie for a long time, and it's always been strong. But I feel like right now there's a lot of Sentry Annihilus in the meta,
Yeah.
right? And because of that, there's also a lot of stuff like Profex or just Sentry Annihilus mirrors where they also have Annihilus.
Yeah,
So
it's like
sometimes
whoever
Sentry
plays Annihilus last wins.
exactly. So in those matchups, I often don't play Sentry. Sentry is a luxury, in my opinion, that this deck can afford to run, but you don't want to make Sentry be a liability for you. If you think your opponent has Profex, if you think your opponent might be running Annie and you are going to lose the priority battle and they are going to be able to Annie last, like don't give yourself that liability. Um like I said, Sentry is a luxury. I honestly think in this meta, he is the worst card in this deck, but
Ooh.
he is free wins into too many matchups that you can't just cut him, right? Because some decks that can't deal with Sentry Annihilus, you just win games, right? Because
Right.
it's a 420. So, yeah, it is. yeah, be careful. This is my basically is my point with Sentry, because a -10 is a legitimate liability
Oh yeah, for
sometimes.
sure. And then next we have Darkhawk.
I love this card. I've been playing Darkhawk forever. Like I even when he got nerfed, I was sad, and now that I can make him work again, I'm happy. I love the game plan that Darkhawk brings, because I think it allows you to open up your deck building, because running the Darkhawk suite allows you to play less tech. You might say it's cope and being like, oh, you can't rely on rocks to like disrupt game plan solely, but I disagree. I think you can. I think if you're smart about it, you can put less hard tech in your deck, because the disruption is that valuable.
Right.
And he's just a massive number, right? At 5'4", it's actually like a very big difference as to the power he gets to. That extra 4 power. Yes, he's 1 energy more, which sucks, but it is a huge difference. He is like a solo laner, or a lane soloer. Sorry.
But if
And
you look
then
at the
yeah,
deck too, it goes pretty well on curve. If you're playing
yeah,
Sentry, Darkhawk, Red Hulk, you're
yep.
going just as tall, so they're gonna have to make decisions too.
Yeah, like I said, beat down Derek, right? Pose them with enough threats. Like you have your Angela lane, you have your Sentry lane, you have a Void lane that like they have to worry about. You have a Darkhawk, you have a Red Hulk, you have an Annihilus. Like this deck's whole purpose is pose too many threats for your opponents to handle. Like I don't run armor. I have a lot of Shang-Chi targets, right? If you Shang-Chi a lane that is a 4/3, and I am doing other stuff while you are Shang-Chi.
Yeah.
So that is like you basically have to put out too many threats. So I just have a ton of threats in the
Right.
deck, and Darkhawk is obviously one of them.
And then next we have Annihilus here.
Yeah, I mean, can't be running Sentry without him. Also very good for the hood. He's just great, especially in the meta. Like sometimes I will not play, like I will just have a hand that is like Kitty, Korg, Nico, Angela, Hope, and they just think I'm playing like some mid-range package, and then they're doing Sentry stuff, and um you just pull out an Annihilus, and it doesn't look like you were playing an Annihilus deck, which is my favorite part of this
Right.
deck. Yeah. So I mean, and obviously he's just a good card. Free wins um against some decks. Location, he's great for locations, and he's very important in Annihilus mirrors. So yeah,
And then lastly we have Red Hulk here. It's been called
yeah,
Rolk lately.
Rolk. Yeah, so he did get nerfed, right? I was playing this deck before he got nerfed, and he was the biggest 6-drop you could find, right? That isn't Blob in a Thanos deck. And then I tried switching him around. I was like, what if I try Magneto in this slot, right? Because like sometimes he doesn't get up to that power. If he only procs once, he's a 6/13. Magneto has the added benefit of like offering a little disruption sometimes. If you ramp him out, you can clog. And then I just like played against Loki, and I was like, nope, I have to run Relk, because Relk is asymmetrical, and I can't afford to give my opponent a like my Loki opponent a 4/12, right? If they have Quinjet down. I can afford to give my opponent a 4/9 when I have a 6/21 or whatever, right? So that's where the asymmetry comes in, and Red Hulk is purely just like it's there. It's a huge stat stick, especially if it procs like even just once. If it procs more than that, gravy, right? And it's necessary to have an asymmetrical advantage into the Loki matchup. But if you don't have it, again, I think Magneto is a fine replacement. It's just worse if you're seeing a lot of Loki.
Nice. And then there we have it. We have the deck. So we're going to go and play some games. Hopefully you can guide me through it, your thought process on how to play, and then hopefully we could get some dubs. So we have Hope, Hood, Nico to start off, Bifrost first location, and then Nico turns the next card into Demon. So is that the
Yeah,
obvious choice?
I think we just go Nico into Demon here.
All right, and I guess this person knows me. That's why they're saying hey, so I'll just give them a bump back.
Hey says hey.
Ooh, Nebula. Oh, wow, Shuri's Lab.
Interesting. Yeah, I think Hood into Shuri's is the play. If you draw Beast, that's a 124. So if you proc it again, I think that's pretty good.
Here we go.
Ooh, this is interesting. This is definitely a board state. I don't know. I think so. Nebula's gonna be in Shuri's lab,
Hmm.
which means that it's probably like we don't care as much how big it gets. I don't know how much we want to fight for Castle Blackstone, especially because we have Hope. I think it's either Hope right or left, and then we go from there. We haven't drawn a lot of mid-range stuff. Yeah, I like that. I
Let's
like
go
that
right.
play. Yeah. Because then we get the immediate value. Okay, they're running
Oh, wow.
some. So this is one of the
Hopefully we
matches
get
where, like,
Annihilus.
yeah, where it's like your opponent probably doesn't even know that you're playing. Oh my god, you can pick it up. Perfect. Yeah, Beast, middle, and then Rock Slide right looks really good. Wait, that is gonna clog us a bit. Um, it might be Beast middle and then Rock Slide right. Or no, sorry, then Rock Slide middle as well, because it's gonna move. So I don't want to.
Rock slide after or
Yeah, and then you
before?
get value from Shuri's. I don't think we want to pick up the Rock Slide. I think that's too much. Do we care about the energy?
I don't think so. I think we're fine. Cause
Yeah, I like this. I think this is also a snap. Okay. Well,
Red Guardian,
that's fine. That's fine. Not the end of the world.
we still get the boost.
Yeah, he should. Okay. So we kind of want to play around Profx because they have a Nebula, right? So we just want to make sure that we are winning all of the lanes. We have priority, which is good. It means that if they do Psycho, Tempo, and Annihilus, and we play Green Goblin right, we do get clogged there, which is like a little weird. I think it's this. Yeah. Put a. I don't know how greedy we want to be. I think we could put that demon left, like the big demon left. Yeah, and then Demon Korg, other Demon Korg middle. And call it a day. We could have maybe saved one of the demons just to see, but I think this plays around Profx.
Gotcha.
So
Let's see if they
yeah.
play them.
If they play an Annihilus, that's kind of big brain, but I think we should still be good. Unless Cannonball is a small problem, but yeah.
Oh, they retreat.
They leave. So yeah, too many threats, too many lanes.
Yeah, we had too many cards. Like we're
Yeah.
we're gonna outcard them for the most part.
Yep.
Turn 5
Yep.
and
Yeah,
that's
and
a
then we
lot.
can just we have too much going on in every lane, and I don't know how they. We also have like 16 power, 17 power coming down the pipe next turn.
Yeah, which
good.
is insane. Yeah. So we have a Annihilus, Sentry, and Darkhawk. So we have the Annihilus
Yeah.
Sentry package on our side this time.
We do. We have our top end. We have all
Gosh,
of our
we have
top
all
end.
the-
All right. Well, not the best draw, especially with no hope yet.
Ooh, Rickety.
Not no hope in the game. No hope in general. Yeah. All right.
Jeez, nothing still.
Yeah. Welcome to card games. Sometimes we break. That's one reason I love playing bounce decks so much is like it feels like you never don't curve out. You know what I mean? You can always be playing something, but we have. Oh yeah, it's also feature location. I forgot about that. Tarnax
It
is the
is?
feature location. Yeah. Yeah, this is probably just rock slides because we have so much top end. I don't want to be risking playing our top end into Ant Maze and it going on to Rickety, so I think it's Rock Slide left, and we hope it doesn't go mid, because that's a lot of value lost. If it
See what they
does.
take. Beast. They got the beast.
Yeah, that's your beast. I'm guessing this is Loki. That's okay.
Nice. We got lucky.
Yeah, so I think, yeah, we just curve out Sentry and Annihilus, and then Darkhawk Korg.
And then hope they don't have Loki.
Yeah, and that's another thing, like, why Sentry is a bit of a liability is because If they do get your Annihilus, it's tough, but if they don't, I mean, it's kind of a free win.
Ooh, Cable again.
And I'm guessing Kitty, yeah. Yeah, I think you can afford to not drop the Annihilus. I'm wondering if you play it right. I think this is probably a cut. But just because it's like we're playing for a tiebreaker. Although, I mean, they're going to Shang, right?
I think so.
Either that or Loki. They're just snapping a Shang or Loki. Their Kitty is 9 right now, which is pretty big. But no, they're not going to Shang because that clogs them left. And then they can only play their Kitty into Tornax's switches. So, I mean, it's probably... I mean, it's kind of like... How many cards do they have in hand?
They have 7, a full hand.
Okay, so they're full. Well, they probably Loki for 5 because there's no way they don't play Kitty. I don't know. You can stick it out. Yeah, you can also. Okay, you could play Annihilus left to try to get something cool out of a 5-drop. Yeah.
Super Scroll.
That's tough. That's not ideal.
It's a big Kitty.
So the nice thing about when they Lokis, you don't have to worry about cards like Shang, right? So we're really just playing maximum power here, which is Darkhawk left, Korg middle, right? Because you need to play something into Rickety. If they get an Annihilus, which is a less than 50% chance, it's tough. But they also have to play, if they want to play their big cards, they probably have to play it left.
And they have to play something in the middle too.
And then, yeah, well, Loki won't have a problem with that because they have a bunch of free cards right now.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think we should win this if they didn't get an Annihilus. Which, based on how long they're taking, I would be surprised if they do. They didn't get
maybe not.
Annihilus.
We'll see. We'll see. Beast.
Okay, so he picks up the Super Scroll, which is good. Into Mojo, which is fine. Into Kitty, and then Nico
what's this
Demon,
last card?
which
Korg?
doesn't do anything. Yeah, we should win this. Oh, it's Demon, but it changes.
Oh, it turns into a Bast. Let's go. We should have snapped. Oh my goodness.
Nice. That's what I mean. Like, it's not dead to Loki. I mean, we saw how many they were gonna Loki for, which is 5. Probably because I don't think they give up on that Kitty, and because they've already invested so much in it, and yeah, we won that exchange.
Yeah, we won. I guess they didn't get Annihilus, so we lucked out.
Yeah.
All right, better curve.
I love seeing Annie opening turn because you don't have to be scared about like playing your Sentry and hoping you top deck it. Yeah, just pass here.
Okay. Yeah, so we have Nico, Annihilus, Beast, Angela.
Yeah.
So skip it.
Eco spells. Eco spells not relevant right now.
Let's see what they play. If they play anything. So they don't. Oscorp Tower again.
Actually, like Angela left here.
Alright.
On curve.
Armor, okay.
Armor. Which is a heads up play from them. With a lot of Sentry in the meta, armoring right is quite good because interesting hand actually. I think what are we trying to do here? So there's the line of Hood mid, Beast like right, just saying we're not going to get any value. There's also Nico Destroy into Hood, which is very good because drawing cards is very powerful in this game. I'm just trying to think of what we're looking for. I like searching for our Darkhawk, so I like going Nico. Yeah, sure.
We're running out of time.
yeah, sure, that works. Sorry.
That's all good.
Okay, that's fine. Again, we look like an Angela bounce deck, right? We look like a little... Oh, that doesn't really... So the Annie can sometimes come as a surprise here. Um,
All right.
Now, I I like Hope Kitty left. Um, yeah. In case they try to do some funky clog stuff. I don't know if we have to play around Profix. Okay, now I feel like we have to play around Profix in this matchup.
Yep.
And potentially. So here. Okay, I like Darkhawk mid. Angela right left into, or sorry, Kitty into Angela. They can't play Profx right because it gets switched by Tarnax. So we don't lose. I believe it gets switched by Tarnax. Should.
Yeah, it will.
I hope I'm not. Okay, yeah, I hope, yeah. I think, yeah.
So it'll get switched out, but if they play... Okay, they play
Okay.
Gamora?
Yeah, that's... So, now, I think it's... Yeah, you have 7 energy, so I think the play is Annie right. Demon middle. And then Korg either right or left.
Korg on the right?
I think with sending over the demon, yeah, let's play for more. In the middle. Yeah, or in the right. White Widow's actually fantastic for us because it just gets sent over. Stegron's...
Oh, perfect. But what does he turn
Is
into?
this a main deck Stegron Miles? I think we should win all the locations with... Doesn't really matter what comes out of Tarnax.
Let's go.
We could also possibly class a roll.
Nice.
Oh, Martyr MVP. Let's go.
Let's go. GG's. Cool. Patience was a virtue. They didn't know we had Annihilus.
Yeah.
That is it for this video. Thank you, Gnome, for chilling. Is there anything you want to say before we dip out?
No, thanks for having me on. Really appreciate it. That was a lot of fun. Like I said, you can check me out on Twitch at gnome__plays. Same thing on Twitter. And yeah, it was a pleasure being on the channel.
Yeah.
Thank you.
And you have a Discord too, I found out. So
I do.
Do you have a Discord?
Oh, I have one. It's kind of my chess Discord that I made when I stream chess.
Well,
it doesn't
never
really have
mind.
any Marvel Snap content. It doesn't. Yeah. If you guys are interested in chess, I used to stream chess. I have a chess Discord that is not active, so don't come and join it.
All right, perfect. Well, I won't put the Discord down below, but definitely check out Gnome on Twitch. So till next time, guys, be safe, keep on snapping, and peace.
See ya.